Hi guys, it's Desiree. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to be doing my January reads and February TBR.
It was late at night. You tossed and turned as thoughts began to play. How can this be life?
Alright, so if I'm looking over here, I have like my list of books and everything. And I actually have a couple of my physical books that I'm going to be talking about. And honestly, a lot of my reads next month for February and this month are a lot of Kindle Unlimited. So anyways, so my goal this year with the new year is I want to get through my physical TBR. I'm going to find a picture of my bookshelf and put it up right here. But my bookshelf is filled to the brim, and all the books that are right there are the books that I need to read. I have not read them. So that's my plan for this year, is to get through my entire physical TBR before I buy any books. With that being said, I am on a book buying ban. But yes, so I guess I should talk about so when it comes to like my TBRs this year, it's gonna be a little difficult. Zena, no. My dog's crying. Anyways, so with my TBR this year, it's going to be a little bit different because normally I will like start a book and then not finish it and then just start a different book and finish that and like not even worry about the book that I started previously in the last month. But this year I'm doing a thing where I will not switch books until I finish the books that I'm already reading. So when I say like I'm giving you guys my February TBR, it's gonna be like, it could honestly be the same books that I'm gonna try to read in March. So let me explain. Right now I'm currently reading 3 books. And for my February TBR, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books that I want to read. But I will not touch those 8 books until I finish the 3 that I'm reading right now. And then once I finish reading the 3 that I'm reading right now, then I will pick from the 8 books that I want to read in February. And if that bleeds into like March, then it bleeds into March. And then whatever I want to read, it keeps on going. Does that make sense? Anyways, this is just, I guess you can call it like the books up next, or my up next reads, not really my TBR or like my February TBR. We'll call it my books I'm going to read next. I hope this is making sense. Anyways, this is going to be a kind of long video. So I'm going to talk about the books that I'm currently reading or in the middle of. Starting off with what is on my Kindle, Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I'm really hoping that's focusing. There we go. Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. This book has been all over TikTok. If you've not heard about this book, I don't know what to tell you. You're not on Book Talk. This book has been everywhere. And I was very hesitant about starting it, but a lot of people were like, oh, it's ice skating, or like figure skater and a hockey romance. They were like, it's grumpy sunshine. She's the grumpy, he's the sunshine. They're like, if you liked From Luke Off with Love, read this book. So I have been reading it. I'm currently on, let me actually check my progress. Oh, actually, I was reading a little bit on my phone, so it's probably going to have to update to my phone. I'll give it a second. But I'm roughly around the like 40 to 50% of the book. And honestly, I'm kind of like starting to not like it. It's like the plot is good. The side characters are great. The smut, fan-freaking-tastic. I was like flabbergasted reading some of these scenes. But for some reason, I don't know if it's just because I've been like pushing myself to finish this book, because I want to just be done with it. But like Anastasia, is it Anastasia or Anastasia? I'm gonna call her Anastasia. And not Nate, but more so Anastasia is like really annoying me. I don't know why. So a situation just happened between, I don't want to spoil, but a situation happened between Nate, which is the main like love interest, and Aaron, which is Anastasia's figure skating partner, because she does partner skating. So I guess the situation like kind of happens, and Stacia is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like, she wants to believe Nate because they kind of have this thing going, but Aaron's her partner and he's hurt. So like, and she's working with him for years, but she wants to believe him. And honestly, I feel like she's not using her big girl brain. She's really pissing me off. And I think because I am forcing myself to read this book, I'm like starting not to like it anymore. There's a plane, so I'm sorry you have to hear that. Anyways, I'm not gonna keep talking about this book. As of right now, as of January 27th, 2:02, my rating for this book as of right now is 3 stars. It could possibly go up by the time I finish, because I'm like almost at the 50% mark. We'll see. This next book. Okay, anyways, the next book I'm reading, Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. If you guys saw my like one of my first or second books on this channel, like book videos on this channel, I talked about how this book was in my TBR. And I started reading it. I'm on page 84. I think I'm a little bit further, but I like lost the page because for the longest time I didn't have a bookmark. But I'm around 80, 90 pages. This book, it is justifying all the fears that I had about reading it. I was like very afraid that like I was gonna get bored, that it was gonna be kind of slow paced, and it is. I know everybody's absolute favorite book is Normal People, and I didn't want to read Normal People because I tried watching the show and I was like, can't do this. Tried watching the show for this book because, both the shows are on Hulu if y'all want to watch it. And I stopped because it was like watching paint dry, and honestly, I was like, okay, maybe the book would be a little bit better. Thoughts. It is good in some parts, but a lot of the times I'm like, what is going on? Like, once I finish this book, I can't give it away because I have been annotating like my thoughts on this book. But like, okay, for instance, I said hearing them have sex is the most awkward thing ever. Like, I've never been more awkward. Like, I feel like I shouldn't be reading this. I feel like I shouldn't be here. I feel like for being so like at the beginning of the book, I feel like I can already tell that Francis has like true adult feelings for Nick. Is that his name? Oh god, Nick. For Nick. And he does not have those kinds of feelings for her. I don't know how I'm feeling about this book, but I am determined to finish it because I bought it. And we'll see what it gets rated. Where am I putting the books that I want to talk about? Alright, next book. It's Kindle Unlimited. Love Letter to Whiskey by Candy Steiner. Oh, Miss Steiner, you have my heart. This is one of her, I want to say, most popular books. And, she's thick. She's pretty thick. I feel like she's a pretty thick book. But boy, is the turmoil crazy. A Love Letter to Whiskey, I am 30% in. So I am 182. Wow, that's kind of creepy. I'm on chapter 11. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was Candy's, like, one of her, like, bigger books that, like, kind of, like, slingshot her up. So it is, like, childhood friends to lovers, I want to say. Because you call them teenage friends to lovers. I don't know, they met in high school. And throughout their whole adult life, it's kind of one of those, like, right person, wrong times. Right person, wrong time, so much. So good. So it's B and, is his name, like, Jace? I know it's with a J. Jamie or something like that. Jamie and B. And, in high school, Jamie dated B's best friend. although they kind of like had like some kind of attraction toward each other, and then like they ended up going to the same college together. B and Jamie ended up going to the same college together, but when he's single, she now's in a relationship, and then something happens where she has to leave their college her senior year, and she ends up finishing school off like back in her hometown. And I think they like reconnect a couple more times when they're older. I'm not that far in. I literally just got into the section where they're like kind of like coming out of college, so like they're kind of like getting into their like young adult lifetime. But it is such a good book. I really recommend that one. The next book, which is actually on my February TBR, but I kind of cheated and started reading it this month. Where is it? Down here. This is my like nonfiction. And this is the only nonfiction. Yes, this is the only nonfiction I have out of my 8 books that I want to read next. / memoirs. It is Spare by Prince Harry. Honestly, it's by Prince Harry and his ghostwriter. That's what I'm going to say. Look at how freaking adorable the back is. So, me, like, pretty much all of America, when we heard his book was coming out, immediately wanted to buy it. And I did. To be fair, I bought it, like, later in the... Okay, so... I'm not big in the royal family discourse drama, but when everything that happened with Meghan Markle, I was keeping an eye on it. Me and my mom watched the limited series that Meghan and Harry did, and then they announced the book, and I was like, okay, well, I want to get, like, all the information from the horse's mouth. Okay, I don't really know much about the royal family, like, at all. Like, I don't keep up with any of, like, the stuff that they do. I just know that, like, Princess Diana was a queen. We loved her in this household. And then everything that happened with Meghan Markle. So I am reading the book. I am not that far in. Do I have a bookmark in this book? I do. I am... Okay, this is not the page I'm on. I'm on part 1. So it's Out of the Night That Covers Me. Currently on part 1. I think I'm a couple pages in. I don't know why that bookmark is there. Yeah, I do. Okay, so with this book, it has like little, like, I don't know if you can see it, where it says like 2, and then there's like, I don't know if that's supposed to be like the chapters or what, because then it goes like that, like 4 or 5. I think that's supposed to be the chapters. I don't know, but I'm only like not that far at all into it. I'm like roughly 13, 14 pages into the book. It is good so far. The beginning, oh my god, threw me in for a loophole. Hold on, let me take the skirt off. The beginning of the book, it opens up at a funeral. At first, I was like, I thought it was the mother's funeral, and I thought it was the grandma's funeral, and then I found out it's the grandfather's funeral. So it's a little section from the, like, grandfather's funeral where he's talking about, like, the first time he came back to London to see his family, and like he's talking with his father and his brother, and he kind of explains why he decided to write this book. I think when he came out with the book after the TV show, a lot of people were like, you know, he just did this limited series, like what is there a need for a book, like he needs to just dead everything. But the first 3 or 4 pages explains why he decided to write this book. And all I'm going to say is he wrote this book as a way to explain to not only his family, but the world, why he truly decided to leave, pack up his family and go. So, really excited for that. That is everything that I am currently reading. I'm going to go again for a little bit until Mom goes back to work. And then we're going to get into my TBR, my February TBR, aka what I want to read next when I finish everything that I'm currently reading. Alright, y'all, the angle has probably changed so many times, but... Okay, anyway, so, now we're going to talk about the books that I plan on reading after I finish those books that I was just talking about. So, first book, I'm so sad because I literally just dropped something on it, like when I was grabbing it, and it like ripped the page a little bit. Anyways, Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Herbert. I want y'all to see, like, look at it. The little E is a little busted, and then right here, I like dropped something on it, and I'm so sad. I'm trying not to think about it, but yeah, I want to read the Brown Sisters series. I'm so excited because it's white, so it's like not focusing. Anyways, I really want to read this series. Obviously, Miss Chloe Brown is the first book into the series, and I believe it goes Danny, and then I want to say the last sister's name starts with an A. I could be wrong, but this book is. Let me read you the back. Chloe Brown is a chronically ill computer geek with a goal, a plan, and a list. After almost but not quite dying, she comes up with 7 directives to help her get a life, and she's already completed the first, finally moving out of her glamorous family's mansion. You're telling me black luxury? Love it already, eating it up. The next item, enjoy a drunken night out, ride a motorcycle, go camping, have meaningless but thoroughly enjoyable sex, travel the world with nothing but hand luggage, and do something bad. But it's not easy being bad, even when you've written step-by-step guidelines on how to do it correctly. What Chloe needs is a teacher, and she knows just the man for the job. Redford, quote Red, Morgan, a handyman with tattoos, motorcycle, and more sex appeal than 1,000 Hollywood heartthrobs. He's also an artist who paints at night and hides his work in the light of day, which Chloe knows because she spies on him occasionally, just the teeniest, tiniest bit. But when she enlists Red in her mission to rebel, she learns things about him that no spy session could teach her, like why he clearly resents Chloe's wealthy background, and why he never shows her his art to anyone, and what really lies beneath his rough exterior. I am so freaking excited. 1, because black luxury. 2, it's a black female lead. Oh, I'm gonna eat that shit up. And Talia Herbert's writing is so good. Oh, she's British. So good. Like, the way that she... Like, I've read Princess Trap by her, and that book was 5 stars. Like, the way that she wrote a plus-size character and a black character, and the way that, like, the male lead was just... I'm blushing like it was me. Like, the way that they just... like fell over their feet for these women. I cannot wait to read this. Like, I just know that reading a book by her, I'm gonna get like everything I want and when I get in a relationship. So can't wait for this one. The next book is on Kindle Unlimited. I believe it's still on Kindle Unlimited. I don't have it downloaded on my Kindle, but it is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I have heard so much about this book. I have heard from Sarah Caroli, from Haley Pham, from Destiny Sidwell, that's her name. Like, all the book talkers have been talking about this book and how this book is so good, and it's like their 5-star book. Also, I've heard if you like the movie Duff, this is a good book. Love Duff. Now looking back on it, that movie is like low-key, like, let's just say it was good for the time period that it came out. But Duff is one of like my favorite comfort movies. So I'm really excited to read this book. Also because it's about like I know like the main character, I forgot her name, is like obsessed with rom-coms. So I think like each chapter starts with a quote from a rom-com. Not gonna lie, there's a lot of classic rom-coms I have not watched that I really want to write down and watch because of this. Like, I still haven't watched 10 Things I Hate About You. Sorry. So many people just clicked out the video. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I'm really excited to start that one. So, next book, which I do have. This is actually the last physical book I have to show you. Let me take a sip of this. I need more coffee creamer. Alright, I'm so excited for this one. I definitely want to get into this series this year They just finished wrapping season 2. I flew through season 1. I heard season 2 is going to be like, if they're doing it based off the second book, it's going to be heart-wrenching. So many more, like, bigger topics they're going to talk about. And I believe there's 4 books already out. The 5th one's on its way. And also, I've never really I've never really read a book like this. So I'm really excited to get into it. Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. Nick and Charlie, my babies, I'm their protective mother. I love the show. It's such a good comfort show. Like, I need to rewatch. It's such a good comfort show, like, right there with Wednesday for me. Oh, God. Focus on in the book a bit. There we go. Yeah, I'm really excited to read this. This is my first ever graphic novel. I heard you're supposed to read graphic novels, like, a different kind of way. I don't know if this is set up that way. Where, like... Huh? Oh, okay. Like, look at how cute. Oh, I'm so excited. And I've been, like, seeing, like, all the edits when the show came out, like, the audiobook. What's it called? I think there's an audiobook for this book. It was just a lot of people, like, reading it. And, yeah, I just can't wait. So, I'm really excited. Obviously, I already talked about it. I'm just going to hold up the skirt. I already talked about it, but we're going to continue reading. Honestly, I'm going to push this book over into September. I'm going to push this book over into my February read. This will probably be the first book that I read in February because I already started it, so I might as well finish it. Honestly, I don't even know how many pages this book is. Let me double check. Okay. There's 407 pages. Also, one thing I have noticed, which I will say, I did not like it in this book, but I'm trying to get used to it. But it's also in this book, whenever somebody's talking, there's no quotes. It's literally just dialogue. It's not all dialogue, but when somebody's talking, there's no quotes. There's no quotation marks for the person talking. It's just what they said. But yes, this I'm going to read in September. And I'm going to read this next. I'm going to read this next whenever I finish the 3 books that I'm currently reading. This will be my first read in this list of books that I want to read. Fucking hell. Alright, the next book, By a Thread, Lucy Score. Sarah Crowley just finished reading this book, and she was talking about it so highly that I went to Kindle Unlimited and added it to my folder on my Amazon. I have like a whole folder of Kindle Unlimited books that I want to eventually get to. She told me it was enemies to lovers, forced proximity. I'm gonna eat it up. Those are my favorite tropes. So pretty much, from what I can remember from what she said, this like very wealthy lady, like fashion designer, her and her son go out to dinner at this restaurant, and the son starts arguing with the waitress and pretty much gets the waiter fired. And the mother feels so bad that she like tracks her down, tells her, hey, you know, I'm gonna give you this job at my magazine place. Is kind of a way to like make up for what my son did. And the son is her boss. The son is the waitress's boss, and the one rule is he can't fire her. So, I'm gonna eat it. It's like a workplace enemies to lovers, like forced proximity. I'm gonna eat it up. I'm going to eat it up. The next book. This is a it may or may not, is The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. The last Mariana Zapata I started was Colty, and then I DNF'd because it was taking too long. Like Mariana Zapata, you want a slow burn, she will give you a slow burn. Like 500, 600 pages, and they're not getting together until the last 100 pages. Like, if you want a slow burn, Mariana Zapata is the way to go. But I DNF Colty because I was hitting like almost 100 pages and they still weren't even really talking to each other. I'm okay with them not getting together to like the last 100 pages, but I need interactions. I need them to be talking to each other. I need banter, and that wasn't happening, so I DNF'd it. But with Wall of Winnipeg and Me, this one just sounded really interesting, and it is on my list to read, so it's a maybe. I may or may not read that. I might save it for like some other time of the year. But pretty much, it's this football player, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's a football player and his assistant, and he's like such a jackass football player. I think it's like NFL type football playing. And he's just so mean to his, like, just so mean to everybody and his assistant. And one day she just like quits, and she does everything for this man. Like, this man, he like can't function without her, so he like begs her to come back. And I think it's, I want to say like there's like fake dating, but I feel like that's wrong. The next book though that is on my list, which apparently I found out is the like sequel to A Wall of Winnipeg and Me, is Hands Down by Mariana Zapata. I love like standalones, like continuation books. Oh god, so good. But apparently that book follows Zach, I'm gonna guess the main person's like best friend and his love interest. I don't remember much of what it's about. Let me see if I can look it up. Oh, also, and this is Kindle Unlimited if you guys want to go read both of those books. Okay, so look at. Oh, it's a short description, so I'll just read it to you. Before he was Big Texas, he was Zach the Snack Pack. Brianna, I don't know how to say her last name, knows time mostly heals all wounds, including those your once loved ones might have unintentionally given you. Those just take longer. She thinks she's ready when a call has her walking back into her old friend's life, or at least as prepared as possible to see the starting quarterback in the National Football Organization. Before the lights, the fans, and the millions, he was a skinny kid with a heart of gold. Waltzing out of Zach Travis's life should be easy, just as easy as he walked out of hers. Oh, sounds so good. Oh, that's what Mariana Zapata looks like? I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know. Alright, so the next two are releases. The next two books are soon to come out. One of them will come out by the time this video is out. Either it'll be out the exact same day I upload this video, or it'll be out the day before I had uploaded this video. But this is like the most anticipated book on Book Talk. I feel like you should know where I'm going here. Final Offer by Lauren Asher, the last in the Dreamland Billionaire series. Billionaire series. I am so motherfucking excited for this book. So when it came to the Dreamland Billionaire series, I think I talked about this. When it came to the Dreamland Billionaire series, I flew through fine print because honestly, I just wanted to get to terms and conditions. Like, no offense to Rowan, and I don't remember her name. I just don't remember it starts with a Z. No offense to them, but I didn't care about them. I just wanted to get to Declan and Iris because I love a black lead. And unpopular opinion, they're my favorite. I mean, I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion. I know a lot of people like Iris, not a lot of people like Declan. A lot of people would have left Declan for what he did. And low-key, I don't think I would have left him. He would have definitely got told off multiple times. But anyways, I flew through fine print because I wanted to get to Terms and Conditions. Terms and Conditions is one of my favorite books. It's right up there with... what's that other book from her? Wrecked, from the Dirty Air series. Wrecked Me. That's my 5-star book. Unless I might need to reread. Anyways, not what we're talking about, but the Final Offer, pretty much. So a little overview of the Dreamland Billionaire series. 3 brothers. Grandfather dies. They each have like a quote-unquote mission. Not really. They each have something they have to complete to get their share of the business. So the family business. The family business it's pretty much Disneyland. Let's just be for real here. It's Disneyland. Rowan had to create like a new attraction, like a big new attraction that would bring more people in to get his share of the business. He did it and got a wife in the process. Declan needed to get married and have a share within, like, you know, have a child within the first year to get his share of the business, which, to be quite honest, like, I was excited for the story because I knew it was going to make a good storyline, but that's absolutely crazy to make your grandson not only get married, but have a kid within the first year of his marriage. Absolutely crazy. Anyways, and then the last brother is Callahan, aka Cal, which is Iris's best friend, which is why I think I'm so excited about it, because obviously throughout the books you get a sprinkle of all the guys, and then you get a sprinkle of like the couple that's coming up next. So in 5 print you get a sprinkle of Iris and Declan. In terms of conditions, you actually don't get a sprinkle of Callahan and his love interest. All you know is that they used to have history, they used to be a thing, something happened, and he doesn't like to talk about it.
Hi guys, editing Desiree here. So I didn't really talk about what this book was, so here's me reading the description for you. Callahan, I am the Kane brother everyone gossips about behind closed doors. Trust fund brat, washed up athlete, high functioning alcoholic. No one knows the real me but her. Lana Costello, my childhood best friend and the only woman I've ever loved. When I broke her heart 6 years ago, I promised to never return to Lake Winnipeg. I think that's how you say that. I kept my word until my grandfather's will changed everything. To receive my inheritance, I was tasked with spending a summer at the family lake house before selling it. The request was simple in theory until my entire plan blew up on the very first day. Turns out Lana doesn't just live at the house, but she claims to own it too. Alana. Falling in love with Callahan Kane was a mistake. He told me so before destroying my heart and our friendship 6 summers ago. When he promised never to come back, I foolishly believed him. But then Cal showed up again, intending to sell his grandfather's lake house. The biggest flaw in his plan, my name on the deed.
So this is definitely going to be a second chance romance. Personally, I don't really like second chance romances, but I am going to give this book a shot because I fucking love Callahan so much that I'm just like so ready for it. Reading terms and conditions, you meet Cal. Like I said, Iris and Cal are best friends, so he's in the book a good amount of time. He's the best friend that she runs to whenever something goes wrong or she just wants, you know, her friend. So I'm really excited. So Callahan's his book. I forget what he gets. He gets something. I forget what it is. Like, I forget what his share of the business is if he completes his thing. I'm excited to see Callahan. I'm excited to meet the love interest. I can't remember her name right now. I'm so excited to see Iris and Declan and Rowan and Z. And I'm even more excited to see Callahan, Cal, be Uncle Cal, because obviously, if I'm not mistaken, I think they had 2 kids. Iris and Declan had 2 kids. So obviously Iris and Cal are still best friends. So I really want to see some Uncle Cal scenes. Like, I really want to see him like babysitting the kids for a day, or like running into his love interest like with one of the girls or something. I'm just so excited. Also, I heard this book is like 600 to 700 pages, and we're gonna get like a nice little wrap up of all the couples and kind of just see where everybody is. So I'm really fucking excited. My Kindle Unlimited storage, she about to be screaming, but she's ready. So the next and final book, I don't even want to know how long this video is gonna be. The next and final book that doesn't come out until February 15th, but I'm so excited. It is also the end of a series. It is Hail Mary by Candy Steiner. This is the red what is it called? Like Red, Silver, something. What's the name of the series? Red Zone Rivals series. So there's 4 books in this series. Oh, for a second I thought it said I could read it. There's 4 books in this series. They're all standalones. You do not need to read them like one after the other. Like, to be completely honest, I read the second book first, then I went back and read the first one, and then I read the third one, and then the fourth one comes out in February. So it goes Fair Catch, which is an enemies to lovers / roommates / sports romance. So good. Then we have Blindside, which is a fake dating romance. Then we have Quarterback Sneak, which I'm currently trying to finish, which is a forbidden romance. And then we're going to have Hail Mary, which is an enemies to lovers, roommates story. To give you guys like a quick little overview of each book, I'm going to just like spit it out real quick. So, Fair Catch, Zeke and Riley, childhood best friends, something like Riley and Riley's twin brother all grew up together. Something happened where Riley ended up hating Zeke. Honestly, it was very understandable why she hated Zeke, and honestly, I give her all the props in the world for even ever forgiving him, because I don't think I could have, personally. Something happens. Riley ends up hating Zeke, wants nothing to do with him. Fast forward college time, Zeke and her brother are still best friends, but Riley wants nothing to do with him. They're both on the football team. Yes, you heard that right. Riley is on the football team. She's the only female on the male football team, and boy, is her first year not easy. Because not only does she have to prove to all these guys on her team that she's a good player, she has to kind of break the stigma of being the only female on a football team. Zeke is kind of like her protector, but not at the same time. He's trying to get her to forgive him. It's just a really cute moment, and they're forced to live together. Then we have Blindsided, which is Gianna and, why am I blanking on his name? Clay. Gianna and Clay. So pretty much, Gianna runs PR for this is all one football college team. It's like North Boston University. Let me preface that by saying that. Gianna works PR for the football team. Clay is like one of the nicest players. Like, she never has a problem with him. One day, his girlfriend of like God knows how many years, like they did long distance together, they were high school sweethearts, breaks up with him. It's time for him to go do his PR. He's an asshole. He makes a complete fool out of Gianna. They have a meeting. They have a meeting. She tells him, like, you need to be more respectful. Like, you're fucking this up for me. Did I forget to mention that Clay's ex-girlfriend just now transferred to his college? So when they're at this, like, meeting that she has with him, he notices that she's crushing on this guy on campus. So he's like, hey, how about we fake date? I make my ex-girlfriend jealous and want me back, and I'll help you get this guy. Did I also forget to mention that Gianna loves reading smut books and is a virgin and has Clay teach her some things? Ate it up. Okay, then we go into Quarterback Sneak, which was released late last year in October, and I'm still in the middle of reading. This was my most anticipated read for 2022, and then school took over and kicked my ass, and I had absolutely no free time to read the book. I had started it in between school time, and now that I'm like reading it in between a whole bunch of other things, I'm not really as excited for it, but it is good when I do read it. So, but anyways, Quarterback Sneak, forbidden romance. This is the quarterback, hence the name, of the team we all love. Holden. Holden is our teddy bear. Love Holden. He is such a good captain. In the first book, Fair Catch, it's his first year being captain. So obviously you get sprinkles of him throughout the book. And pretty much they get a new coach. And the coach's daughter works physical therapy. So like the moment that he lays eyes on her, he's like, I love this girl. I want this girl to be mine. and their coach immediately puts a stop to it. It's very forbidden. Julep is the main character. I don't know how I feel about the name still don't know how I feel about it, but whatever. She is going through a lot. This book talks a lot about death and grieving a loved one. It is so good. And then we have Hail Mary, which is the last book in the series. I'm gonna be so sad, but it's the last book in the series. We're wrapping up everybody's story. In Quarterback Sneak, Julep's roommate Mary is they live across the street from the like main football player's house. So something happens. I don't know. I didn't finish Quarterback Sneak yet, but I'm guessing something happens where the living arrangements is off in Hail Mary. So Mary, Julep's roommate, has to move in to the house that the football players live in. And one thing to know about Mary is she's a tattoo apprentice. She has a ton of tattoos. She works at a tattoo studio. She is a gamer. And she absolutely hates the football team, specifically Leo. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say that Leo and Mary knew each other like when they were younger in high school or something like that, because something happened there, and we're going to explore that. So I'm really excited for that book. Also, not to mention, Candy Steiner said that because we are wrapping up this series, she's going to sprinkle in a little bit from the next series that is to come. We are getting hockey players, but not college hockey players. We're getting professional hockey players, which I'm so excited about because I feel like all the sports romance are either college and high school. And I really want us to do like pro level like sport. I think the only pro level like book or series that I read was Long Shot, and that was pro basketball. So I'm really excited because not only are we going to be wrapping up all these stories, we're also going to be getting like a sneak peek into what's to come next. So I have been rambling for, I'm sure, more than an hour to 2 hours. Like, editing this video is going to be terrible. Trying to cut down is going to be terrible. I'm so sorry that I rambled, but I hope this video helped you guys find new books to read, start new series. Yeah, I plan on having a couple reading vlogs within the next couple months, and I want to do more like when I start reading some of these books. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!